but nonetheless, you know, we may want to have just a 1.5% slide first. Say the conclusion of this, along with other than we had a 1.5% increase. So that's just like the simple.
Oh, just a one.
Set the duck.
1.5. That was the outcome.
Good.
Now, let me translate what that would mean to you. If we had been working together since January, and we had delivered the market share increase to you that we delivered to Acura, and I'm not saying sales increase, because everybody went up in sales, market share increase. We have 620,000, not vehicles sold, but these are vehicles that compete with your segment in the tri-state. If we times it by the same market share that we got for Acura, which is 1.5, that would generate 9,300 additional sales for your stores. Now, if that was distributed perfectly even, that would be 155 additional sales per dealership per year. You know, so you could do the math. Now, that would be the
just on 1.5.
Huh?
Just on 1.5.
Just off 1.5. Now, it would be our goal to get 3. That's our intention. So that would take us to 18,600 units a month, which would be about another 310 vehicles. Now, Lexus is a client of ours. Here's an example of a campaign. We launched the LS. We're going to get rid of this. This shouldn't be there. This is an example of one of many campaigns we do for them throughout the country. Now, they actually don't let their dealers do what you're doing here today, which is control Tier 2 regional advertising. They control that with their ad agency called Team One. Team One hires us. And a lot of our team are very proud that it's almost never heard of that an ad agency hires ad agencies because it's bad for their reputation. But because we do so much in-house, they did what they normally wouldn't do, which is literally hire a competitor. And all the things you see that we hear and we do it across the region, we do for Lexus. We've already let Lexus know that if we get your business here, we don't want to work with anybody else in this market. We want to work with you. Or should I not work? Say that.
I mean,
we want to work with.
I don't know.
You already have the Volkswagen deal basically locked for direct marketing nationally.
It's
So.
the Velocity.
It's a separate
actually,
company.
we pushed
Velocity,
it through Velocity, so I don't think you should say it. I didn't just say
Nah, we just say it's not necessary.
No.
So the next is Hyundai, and I actually think we should just say Hyundai first before we get into this. So I have to add a slide for IntraCard. And we've got a few different things we put together for Hyundai because it's a similar situation. They actually have a few certified ad agencies that work for them. And what's funny is that their ad agencies are hiring us. So here's a few of the campaigns. One is the theme is we all just want to be big rock stars. Because they came to us and Tier 1 was doing all these concerts around the country, saying how do we get a Tier 2 level, get better monetization. Here's one of our concepts that would be on TV and radio and print, as well as outdoor. The theme here is really their target audience is between 35 and 45, kind of my generation. So what they want to do is they want to connect with that audience, and our strategy is, well, why don't you connect with them on 2 things. One, right now they all have kids, so kids are going to get their attention. But 2, let's leverage songs that were hits when they were a kid, when they were coming up, and when hip-hop and became pop. There's a song that says, wiki, 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 wow. Now, I asked David Gordon that when I click this again to have that music, maybe we could ask David Gordon what's up with that, because I could describe that, but I'd rather say, hey, do you remember this song? And so, you know that song, wiki, 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 wow. I forget who sings it or whatever.
It's actually was in a lot of songs, I think.
Huh?
I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's in a lot of songs. I think it was.
Jam on it, jam on it.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Jam on it.
Whatever it is, but I just want to hear 5 seconds of wiki, 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 wow. And so what you have is you've got someone who's 42 years old, and here they remember this theme of this song, which if it plays well over radio and TV, and we've got this kid who also, it ties them to the past, but also the present, which is, you know, they picture their little kid doing this, and it makes them smile inside, but also feel young again. It's a nice day to start again. Now this is a concert. Again, this is part of their concert series. And the star here is not them, it's their car. But again, they're 4 years old. We want them to see that, hey, you know what, it's a nice day to start again, to be cool again, to be young. And we want them to have that mix of nostalgia of yesterday, but also they can be a rock star today. Now this theme for Hyundai was based on a true story because we believe there's few things that are stronger than a true story. And in this case, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Now, this is actually a quote from the famous movie,
Yeah, Ferris Bueller.
which is Ferris Bueller. But it's also a truth that's relevant today. So we're tapping into the nostalgia of their youth and what was cool and hip then, but also something that's relevant to them now, as they've got kids. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. And I think that's true. I think really in tough times, like we've all experienced recently, for any of us that live in the tri-state or have homes here or did have homes, you know, I think pain and struggle as you get in your 30s and 40s, things happen, and you really learn that life moves fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Then, the way I see it, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? I don't know if you remember that movie, but one movie that shaped this generation is Back to the Future. The car that they used to build a time machine was a DeLorean. Now, of course, today's version of that we were presenting is a Hyundai. Now, these are all, again, concepts and strategies we came up that, in this case, was primarily for TV, radio, and print and outdoor, surrounding the concerts that they were doing. And it was going to be a targeted hit during that concert period to be able to leverage the concerts that they were already sponsoring. Then, another quote from a movie that is a cult classic from this generation is Totally Tubular. Do you remember what the movie that is?
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Again, reminding people that you can have a family and be young too. It's not too late to surf, and give people something to aspire to. AutoAmigo is a client of ours, but they're not just a client of Tier 10. We actually own AutoAmigo, and it's a partnership with Univision. Univision is the largest Hispanic media company in the world, and they happen to have what we call unfair reach in the United States. They have 93% reach to Hispanics in the tri-state. So, now, I don't know who messed up, but I had slides here with the stats. Can you hide them? Back. Which one takes line now? There's nothing worse when people start editing my PowerPoint because they decide, where the heck is those slides? Can you call David Gordon? He's missing the these stats. Hispanic
An early version?
It is in the earlier version. It is in the earlier version, but I gave him that because there were some things that we needed to rearrange. It's kind of odd. See, what are